This is Fluxtaposed, episode 195, recorded on January 16th, 2018, also broadcasted on YouTube. On the docket today, IRL, get caught up on what you're playing, featuring AGDQ and the Grand Tour Season 2. Finally, we're going to close out the show with the community grab bag and that sweet, sweet, awkward finish. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and enjoy the show. Pull up a chair. It is time for Fluxtaposed. It's Tuesday. It's the best night of the week because we're here. You're here. We're all here. We're hip. We're with it. We're kicking it. We're on the internet. It's the best place to be. I can't think of where else I would want to be. I'm Jason Lacey. Joined with me, my co-host with the most, Lucas Rose.
The most diseases, I think you mean.
You are... Oh, God. You are patient zero with the T virus, indeed.
It's like the thing
and to that, I give you a hearty salute and beer. Cheers.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's like that thing I sent you.
That makes for some great audio right there.
I know. I'm sorry, everybody. The doctors say I'm the illest.
Lucas is dying. Lucas is dying. David, you're in the chat. I need you to get in here and take over. Lucas is falling apart. Josh, whoever gets here first, co-host.
I also realized I needed to open the show document, so I was trying to.
I saw you pop in there. So Lucas is back from the illness. I think let's just go. Let's proceed. Hello, chat. We're happy to have you here. Aaron, David, Josh. We'll have some stragglers show up. Maybe we'll see. This is Fluxtaposed Live, the monthly event, is no longer a thing. We're always live now. This is a new thing.
Crazy.
To be prepared for all the nightmares and problems. But hey, I just want to point out, this is the closest we've ever started to on time since we've done a live show. So
that's true.
We're getting better. It only took a few months.
It's only slowly killing me. That's what it is. That's what's doing it.
All your hard work. All your hard work is. It's
the first time I had to work hard in my life, and it's killing me softly.
That's with his song. That's true.
Yes,
that's true.
Exactly.
So, Lucas.
Yeah.
The status of Fluxtaposed was it was a crisis, my friend, because you weren't here. Twitter was in an uproar. My people were sliding into my DMs left and right. What's going on? Where's Lucas? We love Nathan Thomas, but he's not quite Lucas. Where is Lucas? When's he going to be back? What's happening to him? Why is he gone? Is he dying? Is he alive? Is this all a ploy to get more listeners? Yes. Tell us. We must know.
It was, actually, it was written in the script of the Fluxtaposed lore that I would get sick at the beginning of the year and nobody would know what was happening. So you would have all these guests lined up and you wouldn't talk about like what's wrong with me, or you would just always be like, oh, he's getting better. And it was all for listenership, right? I mean, it's all about that. It's all about that Twitter, social media.
That's right. I mean, if you're not going to do it all for the nookie, well, you can do it all for the listeners.
That's true. That's true. Well, should I tell you about my horrible adventures? Man, fairly fine all day, and then I have to do this podcast, and it's like, no, you're gonna get destroyed.
I love it.
So as you can see, I definitely have a cough. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's how it all started, Jason. That's where it all that's all kind of where my first problems started, and then
Did you have that little tickle in your throat?
a little bit, yeah, and then your throat's a little
And
dry
not
and
the
sore.
not the usual one when you're hanging out with Michael.
Oh, well, that's a little tickle for sure. Um, and so everything was par for the course. It was a normal sickness. God, I'm really trying not to do that. I promise. And then Sunday night into Monday morning rolled around, and that was D-Day. That was the end of Lucas from 2016 because I am a new or 2017, excuse me. I'm a new man because I threw up all the contents of my body like a snake who sheds his skin. Everything was left in the toilet, and
Oh boy.
it started. Okay, I hope you're not eating anybody, but it's gonna get graphic. So it started. I
Oh
woke up and
gosh.
I had a little rumbly in my tumbly, and I was just like, "Oh, this is weird." And get up, go to the bathroom. Liquefied excrement, shall we say? Literally water, not just like anything. It just not unnatural liquefied water coming out. And then so this goes on for about an hour, and I'm like, man, I'm really not feeling well. I think I might have to. I think I'm gonna have to clean myself up so that I can turn around and start barfing immediately. And that's what I. There were a couple times, 2 times, I had to make sure I was done going to the bathroom so I could turn around and puke. And at the time, I
Uh,
thought I had. I thought I
Wait,
had.
that takes me back to one of my oldest memories of South Park when they're trying to was it Kyle was going to have a little brother or whatever and they didn't want it, so they give all like the parents like this the morning after pill like in an injection form or something like that. I just remember Kenny's dad like grabbing a barrel because he can't decide if he's going to shit or puke at the same time. And
Oh God, maybe that's what I should have done.
yeah.
Mm. Well, let me tell you, this is. Let me tell you something, brother. This is etched into my mind forever. I threw up so vigorously that I my face was scrunched. My shoulders. I actually had Charlie horses in my shoulders for a few minutes afterward because I was throwing up with such velocity that you would
So
not
it
want to
literally
stand in the path of the projectile.
it really was that Team America gif I posted of you. That was
Pretty
like
much,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yes, exactly. It's like when you
Yeah,
squeeze a ketchup bottle
Josh
and there's
has a
nothing
good
in there.
point. Watch that Macho Man reference. WWE is gonna slander our episode again.
That is true. That's a good point. Actually, I was worried about when we were tweeting all of those gifs. I was like, man, Ed McMahon is going to come in here and lay the smack down soon. You get a lawyer. You get a lawyer. Everyone gets sued. Um, so
Royalties.
I'm just now starting to get better. I still have this cough that I cannot get rid of. And it doesn't help that the blood pressure medicine I'm on apparently also will cause a cough. So I doubled down on my cough quota for the month, I suppose. But we'll see how that goes as I get better.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm feeling much better. I can actually taste because I'm drinking, and I wouldn't be doing that unless I could taste it because there's no point in wasting a
Well,
good.
you could drink. No, you could drink Budweiser or some Bush or
That's
some
true.
Natty.
Maybe that's
You
the
could just
easy way.
you
Like
could,
that's the cheap way now, because I can't taste it.
or maybe a little Kirkland Light.
Yes, Kirkland Light looks pretty good actually.
Kirkland
You
Light.
gotta try some of that. You need a no. You need a Costco membership to get
Well,
that.
I got one. Oh, I don't have it anymore. It's expired. Sorry. Well, the good news is we can
Shit.
get. Wait, no, you don't need a Costco membership to get alcohol because there's like a state. It's like state
Oh
regulation that
yeah,
you.
I guess yeah. That does make sense.
So
Wow,
you can get that 30 pack for $12. You're good.
sweet. That sounds great to me. You know what? Instead of drinking Lacroix, I'll just start drinking Kirkland
Drinking
Signature
Kirkland
Light
Lights.
or whatever.
I love that fake commercial. Kirkland
That's good.
Lights. Don't drink water. Fish piss in it.
What was his name? Randy.
Randy
Damn it!
something or other.
Damn it, Randy. Um. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm getting better. I'm on the mend, as they say, and
Yeah.
I
Uh,
got to believe it's getting better. It's getting better all the time.
ooh.
And then the other two things that kind of happened, because I mean, I was gone for 2 weeks, so not a lot happened, but I do have a couple more stories. So, one thing was my wife was like, you know what? If you're feeling okay this past Saturday, if you're feeling
Uh-oh.
okay,
Uh-oh.
why don't we go? Why don't we go to the mall? We'll just walk around a little bit. You and Isaac can get out of the house because I was feeling pretty cabin feverish by this point,
Oh,
having been
I'm
sick.
sure you were sick from like, let's see, you started getting, you told me on the weekend, I think you were coming down with it. You
Yep,
felt
two
it.
weekends
And
ago. Yeah,
then yeah, all the week until yeah, you were like sick for a while.
yeah, about a week and a half so far. And so she was like, "Why don't we go to the mall? We'll just walk around, and maybe we'll grab something to eat while we're there, and we'll just get out for a little bit." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds okay." And then I kind of was like on the fence about going, but then I thought, you know what? I do feel better. I kind of wanted to stay home for selfish reasons, and I was like, well, I should just go. So I went with them, and we met Derek and Brittany, my brother-in-law and his girlfriend, and we ate and we walked around. Now we had some stuff we had to do. We had to get some birthday presents and whatnot, and we did some of that shopping, and we were going to take Isaac to the. You know how like malls have that weird food that's kind of like slides and stuff that kids play on, but it's always like
Yeah,
bacon and
the
eggs and weird shit that they
the
have there.
toxin chamber. See, we're gonna tell Aiden that if he touches that, his arms will like fall off or something like that. We're
No,
gonna like,
don't worry. Don't worry. It won't because they clean it when the most kids are on it. They shut it down on a Saturday at noon, kick all of the kids out of it so that they can clean it. Does that make sense, right? Why wouldn't you want to shut something down when at the you wouldn't clean it at night when nobody's there.
that thing needs to be cleaned multiple times a day. I just imagine someone coming in with like, it's like that same device that you get to the spray weed killer in your backyard. It's got that little backpack. You just pump it.
Three guys in hazmat suits show up and block off the area and nobody's allowed. Um I so they get Isaac runs in there for literally like 1 minute and then they come and close it down. He was so excited to go play. And then we had to tell him because he obviously doesn't understand, but we had to be like, sorry, kiddo, we giveth and we taketh away because your time is nigh. So he was really
Uh,
bummed about it, unfortunately. But we went and did some other things, and uh, Barnes and Noble has a little train set up there, and he played with that. I looked at. Have you ever looked at Thomas and Friends wooden play trains? Not little, like this big, but have you ever seen like a train and maybe like a car cabin car or something?
not since my brothers had those. They had a bunch of
Twenty
little toy
five
figures.
dollars for two. $25 for two wooden trains. You don't get any tracks. You don't get nothing. I put it down and I felt like I should have washed my hands before I touched it and got out like those plastic gloves that you use to check over authenticity of comic
You're
books
like,
or whatever.
you're like, look, yeah.
It's a mint and it will cut. So yeah, our fun day kind of ended up being sort of a blah day because he got upset when he had to share the train and it just didn't go well. So we just kind of left and it was like, well, I'm glad we went out and had fun, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
Lastly, Jason, I
Ooh,
got to do something that I've
but
always
wait,
wanted to do.
there's more.
There is always
Yes.
more. So one of the gifts that we had to get was for Dale, my wife's much younger brother. He is now 8. We had to get a gift for him for his birthday, and then we went and celebrated it on Sunday. And I feel kind of bad for the kid because he doesn't really have anyone who's as old as he is to play with, and they don't do the
Yeah.
type of birthday parties where they invite his friends over. It's more just the family. So
Yeah.
he gets this stuff, and one of the things he got was Beyblades. Now I remember
Okay.
Beyblades because it came out like
I
two
saw
years
this
after I.
in the notes, and I was like, "What the heck is this even
Yes.
about?" I
So
remember Beyblades, but I don't remember Beyblades. Is
yeah,
that
yeah, it came out
statement makes
like
sense?
4 years after I graduated high school, and even then, or maybe even sooner than that. But by then, it's a little bit younger. It's like middle school territory, elementary. So I've always been kind of curious because I know what they are, but what's the
Yeah.
allure? Why is it so fun, right? Well, he got a couple Beyblades, and he also got the little arena thing that you play in, and
Arena.
arena. And so I
Best tech TV show ever.
got to zip cord that thing. My Beyblade was strong. I won most of the time against the 8-year-old,
Yeah,
but I played
Josh.
with him.
Josh just named the episode. I'm sorry. Lucas is Bay curious.
Oh no! Yes. Well,
Nice work. Nice work, Josh.
I felt bad because, like I said, nobody really like he's into Transformers and stuff like that, and nobody there really knows any of that stuff. They're like an agricultural farming family, so
That's not a tractor.
yeah, exactly. Oh, damn it, Bobby! What the hell? Playing your damn Beyblades. Oh, so I partially it was because I wanted to be the cool brother-in-law or whatever, but also Beyblades, man. I wanted to know what it was all about. Now I know. So as you'll see here, I picked up a little something. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I got the starter set.
It's
You'll
only
notice there's
$100.
15.
This one's cool because could you imagine if I just kind of devolved into just starting to talk about every Beyblade? And
You're
what
like,
it was...
I'm doing a bi-weekly podcast called the
Beybladers.
Beyblade.
Beyblades and rollerblades.
Oh,
So yeah, I had once I got better. After I lost a day. Monday was a complete crapshoot from being sick. I stayed in bed all day, but over the weekend I was able to live my life again like a real boy, and got out there and did some stuff. So
that's awesome. The chat is expecting a unboxing video from you, and
okay.
Matt wants to know if your podcast series is going to be Bay weekly.
Mm.
Ba-dum.
Yes, Bay weekly, but there'll be
Michael
little.
Bay.
There'll be little oh my god, it's just getting worse. There'll be little extras for Patreon supporters so that I can support my habit of Beyblading.
I'm gonna have to watch
Horrible.
some. I'm sure if I go to YouTube, there's probably some Beyblade unboxings I can check out to educate myself on the Beyblade dream.
Probably. The ecosphere.
Look at while you're dying, why don't I just go through my status? So Lucas, you haven't been here since I've done it, but I guess the chat hasn't either. But I have a new desk that's up and running now. I have the monitorizers. I've got a new desk lamp because my wife went to IKEA on Sunday. She's like, we both wanted to go, but we're like, oh yeah. For us, we're on west side of Michigan. IKEA is in Detroit, which is like just slightly over between two and 2.5 hour drive for us here. So we thought we were totally going to go. We were going to bring Aiden, no problem. They're like, oh, we have the dog. So it's like, do we drive an hour to a family member's house to drop him off? No. So then Jess is like, I'll just go. So she hung out until like 4 o'clock, got a feeding in, and then I would do the last feeding of the day and the nighttime routine solo with my son. So she went to Detroit by herself. I hung out and did what any responsible person would do. Actually, I did. I did stuff around the house and hung out, but I did play some games. But
I better get my chores done before I play video games.
That's right. She went to IKEA and she had a good time because she got to go away from us, got to do her thing, and she's always liked doing that. She FaceTimed me occasionally with items because I needed something. I had those crappy DVD shelves, so now I have this thing now. Sorry, audio listeners, you don't have it, but I have one of those popular IKEA cube shelves.
Yeah, you got the cube shelves that every famous YouTuber has ever had.
Right. I really wanted the bigger one, but that was expensive, and I didn't. So now I have, my beer steins are up there, my Amiibo are up there.
What's in the? Is it in the top? Well, my top left is that
this?
Yeah, is that a box or is it empty?
Yeah, it's like one of those cloth cube storages they have. So I have one there, and I have one in the bottom right. And almost those alone hold the entire contents of my two DVD shelves.
Collections. Oh.
Yes, that were prior there. So I have that now. We got a bunch of stuff for Aiden's room, but I gave you. It was an uneventful trip because we had issues getting things. My wife somehow loaded everything up. I was like, because some of that crap is heavy. She went through, got it all, loaded it all up, brought it all back here. But we had at one point though, we had some issues during the whole debacle. But the best part of the phone conversation I get from her, all of a sudden she's like, I'm trying to explain something to her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass when I get home." It was awesome.
I wish you were recording that because I never
Oh,
hear her talk like that. So that would have been awesome.
oh, it would have been bad. It
I'm
would
gonna
have been
kick
bad.
your ass when I get home.
She did awesome. She got all that. So I got that. I'm not wearing them right now because they get heavy glare on the camera. I've got these little these are called gamma ray optics. They're like $12 on Amazon. They're like the UV blue blocking glasses. Because I work
And
in
gamma ray
fluorescence
blocking too.
all day at work. So I have a pair at work as well. I've been using them. I'll use them here when I'm gaming and stuff, but at work I sit really far away from my monitor, so I have just a slight magnification, which I really like because I don't feel like I'm squinting all the time. So it's supposed to help with eye strain. And I don't know, maybe it's a placebo. I can't tell, but I like it so far. So I've been using those. And then finally, after fighting with the USPS postal system, I have an
What's this
Elgato
about?
HD60S. I got it on eBay. So full price at retail, they'll sell for like 160, I think. So I got it a little bit with shipping, just a little bit over 100, because the the end of an auction, there's a bid war always occurs. So I got that, and then it shipped from South Carolina on. I think he shipped it on like a Thursday. I think it was either a Wednesday or Thursday. 2 day shipping, and it said it was going to be here on Wednesday. But then all of a sudden, after I got the shipping notification, I've got this app that I use for all my shipment tracking. It said it was going to be here on Saturday by 8 p.m. I was like, nice, Saturday. I can get it hooked up. I can mess around with it on Sunday when Jess is on her trip.
Toy.
And play with my toy. And then Saturday rolls around, and it's like it's still in transit from Grand Rapids to Granville, where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was on Friday. It gave me like a 12:55 p.m. update. And then all of a sudden at like 11 o'clock in the morning, I check and refresh the tracking, and it tells me that 11 a.m. as of 12:55 p.m. on Saturday. So it's giving me an update from the future that the device, that it was still in transit from Detroit. Yeah. And that happened then all of a sudden on Sunday, finally it was like delayed. Doesn't know when it's going to be here. Monday, I think it finally got to our post office Monday. And then I got it Tuesday. So the guy paid for 2 day shipping, and it took it like 4 days to get to me. So I'm looking forward to doing some Switch streaming. That's the main reason I got it, to stream Nintendo Switch. So I did one quick match of Brawl Out and streamed it, and I'm not dropping any frames, but it's a little choppy. So I think probably I gotta mess with the bit rate settings a little bit. But yeah. Got that. Got through another week, and here I am. So
here you are.
Here I am. I just realized I'm looking at our show notes here. I never put anything into this document about what we even want to do on tonight's show. Oh, that's fun.
Oh,
that's fun.
What do you want to do? Let's just make it up on the spot.
I just want to have a little fun. I got.
Do you want to practice your cam girl moves?
One. my practice.
Your cam girl moves. Your cam girl moves. I heard you talking about becoming a cam girl.
I do have a piece of software that is sponsored by MyFreeCams. Click here to learn why MyFreeCams is the best and largest adult webcam community. MyFreeCams.com.
There you go.
We're sponsored by MyFreeCams. Apparently, I don't know.
You can watch me play video games and look down my cleavage.
You did.
Anybody
lift up your shirt on end episode once?
I did that for medical and scientific reasons, and also because I wanted everyone to see my package, obviously. All right. Well, quit stalling for time.
That's right, Lucas. I tell you what, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I do mention too that I got. Well, I talked about it on the last show, but this is the first show I'm using it. I have my new Blue Yeti microphone.
Oh yeah. I heard you talking about that.
I'm all fancy with that now. I think it's working great. I stole a USB from a sound recorder charger that seems to work, and it's going good. You're
really lucky, because I hear that doesn't go so well sometimes.
Sometimes I tell you what, I've gotten really good at MacGyvering stuff onto this computer stand because I'm using a lot of styrofoam to make up for where there's no desk space.
Nice.
Um, and we have an overabundance of cardboard now because of it. So, Lucas, since you
Yep.
weren't here, what
Hmm.
are last week with Nathan we talked about what we're looking forward to in 2018.
Yes.
You listened to the show. You didn't get a chance to share your thoughts. So, what are you looking forward to in 2018?
Um. Well, from a gaming perspective, there's a couple of games that are kind of in the wings, as it were. I would expect them to come out in 2018, but not. I'm not 100% sure if they will. One of which is it's a it's a game that nobody's probably gonna know what I'm talking about. It's called Agony, and it's the I don't believe it has a set release date, but it's the one where you travel through hell, and it has that weird demon that has a like open weird face that kind of opens like this, and it will eat you and kill
I
you.
will. I will Google it.
But that looks pretty cool, and
What type of game? What type of game is it?
it's a first person game called Agony.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that. Okay, yeah, that looks kind of gruesome. Okay,
yeah, it looks totally metal and fucked up, and I want to play it. I heard you guys talking about Sea of Thieves.
you didn't mention that this demon with the weird head has
Tits.
boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Well,
like right there.
that's the only reason why I want to play it. Obviously, is demon boobs. Because why else would I want to play a video game unless it's got boobs in it, right? Um, but I heard you guys talking about Sea of Thieves. Is that
Yeah.
going to be cross-platform? Do you know? Because I haven't heard much about it since the reveal
I
trailer.
Josh, you can probably respond to this well. I believe it is cross-platform. I know it's coming out to Xbox, and I believe you can play it because of that. It is compatible on like the Play Anywhere. I think you can play it on PC. So I'm assuming it has the cross-play between the two. Um,
Nice.
there's a promo right now that if you pre-order, you can get into like one of their final closed betas. So I'm thinking about pre-ordering on Amazon just so I can do that. And then if I don't like it, I can just cancel the pre-order. Because Amazon you don't get charged till it ships. So um, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I know some people that have been in the various testing rounds of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't NDAs and all that, so they can't really say. But I really want to talk to people about it because from my outside perspective, for me, it checks a lot of boxes because I don't remember the last time I actually played a good pirate game.
Black Flag for
Me,
me, and that was
I didn't play Black Flag, so I guess I would say that one Tropico wasn't it Tropico 2, like a pirate themed or something. I never
uh
played Sid Meier's Pirates.
Tropico.
I can't remember.
No, it's more.
One of the
That's more like Mexican dictator or
No,
southern
no,
dictator.
there was. I swear, I could have swore there was a Tropico that was pirate. I can't remember, but
Maybe.
I don't remember the last time. Okay, I take that back. The last good pirate game I played would have to be the remake of Monkey Island that came out on Xbox
Yes.
back in like the 360 days. They did the Monkey Island remastered, and they had the Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge remastered as well. And I just love that. I love that. I've always loved the Monkey Island series, and I've always I get a vibe like that from it. It's got this cool. I like the art aesthetic. I like the colors. I just like the concept behind it.
Just real quick, not Agony isn't what you're thinking of, Josh. That game is called Scorn. He said the flesh gun, the game with the flesh gun, and that one's Scorn. And they are very similar, but Scorn is a little bit more like Geiger-esque with its art and or 90s, almost like 90s PC games. And Agony is much more like clean Unreal Engine looking. No problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was gonna bug me if I didn't say anything.
A good point that someone Aaron brought up in the chat too, that if you don't have a good community constantly playing with you, Sea of Thieves is gonna get a little boring. So
Boring.
that's a good point because it's gonna be dependent on who you're playing with and having a player base around you because like solo, I mean, what are you gonna be able to accomplish? in there.
Probably
But
a whole hell of a lot of nothing are the
you could
words
probably
I was
drink. You can
choosing.
probably drink rum and grog, maybe.
That's true. You could be like you could role play as the guy who like doesn't have any friends and just sits around the harbor getting drunk and pissing on every corner of the world.
That's impressive. I don't even know. I don't know how you do that. How do you piss on every corner of the world? That's pretty.
You gotta drink a lot first of all.
All
Um,
right, so you've got Agony, you've got Sea of Thieves.
System Shock, that remake is coming out.
Oh
Sea of
yeah,
Thieves. Dude, when
I
it
forgot about that.
freaking Red CD Project Red Cyberpunk 2088 or something
their Twitter machine randomly
said
fired up.
beep.
I think last
Yeah,
week.
I don't think we'll see it in 2018 though. I want to.
When is the last night coming out?
I would imagine 2018, but it's kind of getting lost in the shuffle because of it being
So
more of an indie.
yeah, I really want to play that too. Basically,
Um,
anything that looks like Shadowrun, I want to play. Want to
yeah,
play
that
it.
is true. And then lastly, Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is a first person melee medieval game, but it looks super realistic. Think like Blade and oh, what is that? What was that one
Mountain Blade.
game? Mountain Blade, yeah. Mount and Blade, not Mountain Blade. Mountain Blade.
Mountain Blade.
Um,
Mountain Blade.
sounds like
What
a
was that?
horrible fresh.
What was the FPS medieval game where you had sword? You could have archer. They have archers, but I can't
The
remember.
one where you are playing like in a multiplayer FPS
Yeah,
aspect. Oh
I
gosh,
can't
I don't
remember
know,
the
but
name
it
of it.
always goes on sale for like $5.
Yeah,
It might actually be called Medieval for well, maybe not Medieval because that's a PS1 game, but um, I know what you're talking about at the very least.
it's
But I
it's getting remade. I think, or they did,
Medieval,
or
yeah, I
yeah.
heard that was the case. Yeah, so it just looks really cool. One of your like next gen titles. Other than that,
Yeah.
man, you know, outside of games, I can't really think. There's a lot of movies coming out, but you guys already covered that, which I thought you guys did a pretty good job of. Um, seeing my son turn 3, I suppose.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy that he's 2. He's speaking words more and more coherently every day. It's just I'm amazed at how much he can communicate what he needs and wants and everything. And that journey is just a trip in itself. So, you know, before you know it, he'll be 3, and I'll be like, where the hell did the time go? But you know, other than that, not a whole lot. Maybe this year I can finally get out of underneath the crushing debt that I put
The
myself in
crushing
for.
mountain of debt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but probably not.
yeah. I would say I was looking forward to the raise I got at work, but then you realize that after healthcare costs went up, I get $20 left to paycheck of that raise. So
Bum,
I
bum,
mean,
bum,
I guess
bum.
$20 is $20, but still.
Hey, $20. You could go get 3 beers at the beer store.
Hey, that reminds me, I had a leftover. I got because I bought Mega Millions tickets the last time they had that huge
Mega Millions.
jackpot. I
Hmm.
got like an automatic like credit, and because I bought them online, I got automatic credit in my account. So I was like, oh, I'll buy some more tickets for I think the drawings tonight or tomorrow. So that
I
means
think you have a
guaranteed
problem.
I'm gonna win, boys.
I
I got a
bet.
good feeling here,
Yeah.
boys
Are you
and
gonna
girls.
win the
Gonna win.
Powerball?
I did play the Powerball one time. I didn't win. I won $4.
I don't watch the news.
Noah Ritter, classic. That's a good episode of Fluxtaposed back in the day.
Ugh. You gotta go back
No,
and listen.
I want to say to add to my list. I wish I could say I'm looking forward to Animal Crossing in 2018 or Smash Brothers in 2018,
You
but
think it'll happen?
no. Maybe Animal Crossing. Definitely not Smash Brothers. I'm almost to the point since I traded in my Wii U and I can't play Smash 4. I'm almost tempted to hook up my GameCube just so I can play Melee. Just 'cause
Yeah.
Brawl Out's fun for me, but part of me in my head, I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, this isn't a good game.
It's not Smash Brothers.
You're just lying to yourself because you need it. You need it to be to take up that void, and it's just
The
it's not
hell
doing it.
just what just happened
Not doing
in
it.
our chat?
Why are you mailing me stuff?
Do we have a bot in our midst?
No, that's Nathan. I'm pretty sure that sent me that I bought the Blue Yeti.
Oh,
off
I
of.
saw it for like a half a second and I didn't recognize the Vision taking form 6. Yeah, I saw Vision and then I thought it said Vision Tech, and so I was like, is this a bot?
You didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate it though. I
Send
appreciate
me
it.
something.
I'm pretty sure this one I have is working, but it's probably not too ideal. But oh well, it's all good either way. Well, I appreciate it. Well, we'll talk offline. I don't want to
This is
bog
great
down the
podcasting
airways.
material.
This is what happens when I don't plan ahead anyway for the show.
Suddenly it turned into eBay.
Yeah, Matt, I don't even want to. We don't want to talk about the online service for Nintendo Switch. That's
Well,
a whole other thing.
let me put your mind and my mind at ease by letting you know that I have quite a bit to talk about in my what you playing section. So if we don't have a whole lot to do in this section,
why don't we we'll do that then. We can riff on that. I guess shall we play an overclocked remix then right now?
Sure.
And then we'll come back and we'll have some extended what you playing.
Oh my
stuff.
God. I love it when it gets extended.
Extends.
Right. Oh God. I'm gonna
saw a good infomercial for that once. All right, we're gonna randomly select an OC remix to play on this here podcast from ocremix.org via Lucas's patented pending randomizer. What you got, Lucas?
It's called Deus Ex. It's from Deus Ex, God from the Machine. It's number 1.
Wow.
How often
Top one on the list.
How often do we roll with number 1? I don't think we've ever had number 1 before. We've wished for like top 5 because those are always the newest, but we rarely ever get it.
Right.
And a Deus from a PC? Come on now. From PC game? Come on. I love it.
Yes. Deus Ex. Oh, that takes me back. So, God from the Machine. This is by Moire Effect. That's our remixer. Deus Ex, of course, was released by Eidos in 2000 on Windows. This features the song Unatco, which I'm assuming is some sort
one of the beginning songs.
One of their fake corporations in the game, I'm guessing. This is apparently, based on the submission, a mashup kind of Linkin Park meets Deus Ex. So I guess we'll see your opinion on that. Again, we're going to play this. It's from OC Remix, and you can find this remix and many more at ocremix.org. We're going to play the remix, we'll take a small breather, and we'll come back, hit up some What You Playing, and kick off the show in all its glory, and then crash it into the ground. So we'll play it. We'll be back in a little bit.
Smile
Woo,
Damn.
woo. That was some intenseness.
It was like
Questionable guitar solo, but
there was some noise though.
I have to reference the chat here because we've been talking about some speculation on the Nintendo paid online service, and I have to say, guys, if we do get any form of multiplayer component to Virtual Console games, it's gonna be awesome. I don't know why, and I've said it before on the show, but if I can play the original Super Mario Kart multiplayer online, I just think that'll be stupid fun. And even if it's not a good experience, I feel like it's just going to be fun in so many ways that I can't describe. So hopefully we get details soon. I don't know. Maybe I don't think that's something that we'd see at an E3, but who knows? I don't know. Lucas, I did think I should have mentioned, and this would be notable for everyone else, that I joined a gym.
Oh yeah, yeah. You told me that
last week. So after a 2-year absence, I am going to work out again. Unfortunately,
have fun with that.
I'm a piece of crap now. I can't go full on dad bod. I don't think you can go full on dad bod until kid 2. If you only have one kid, you're like quasi dad bod.
That's true. You still need to be physically capable of making another child.
Not saying you got to lose weight. I'm just saying you got to tighten it up.
Just
tighten it up.
Tighten. Well,
tighten AE.
I mean, awesome movie. I saw it in theaters. You owe it to your wife to stay somewhat attractive for another couple of years, and then, once the sexy time is over, then you can call it quits, hang up the gloves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm losing my hair, so I might as well make up for it in other spots, I guess. I don't know.
All I can say is when that time does come, elastic is your best friend. Elastic, spandex. That's all I'm saying.
What happens so what we talked about what happens to 2 kids, Lucas. We need to know what happens at 3 kids.
To what, your sanity or your body?
Yeah, both. Lay it on us. Give us your knowledge.
Kid number 2 is when you really start to feel your sanity dipping low. And you start to wonder if it was all really worth it. Kid number 3, you kind of take a whole different approach, and you don't realize that you're insane anymore, but you're like the people who just show up somewhere and your kids are just like destroying everything. Like you'll go to the store and they're just like knocking shelves full of displays over and everything, and you just don't care because that's your life now. That's what you live every day. So as far as that goes, and that obviously your physical person would represent your mental anguish. So at that point, you don't really care. You wear what's comfortable. If it's sweatpants with juicy on the butt, you wear it, because you can't be bothered anymore. You can't be bothered. You don't have any clothes that are clean anymore. They have stains all over them. You don't have enough time to wash anything. It's over. All you do is clean up poop. Throw away
Lucas,
diapers.
our BFF Adam Leonard is in the house.
I saw that. He was
you should acknowledge his presence with the song.
With what? A song?
Yeah, or limerick.
Okay. Adam is here. Adam is here, and he is watching my beard growing from my face. I love Adam.
That was lovely. All right.
Thank you.
Lucas, let's talk some what you plan.
Finish him.
I don't even know what game. Is that what that was from?
Yeah, come on.
Oh.
I'll give it to you again. Fatality. Flawless victory.
I guess I didn't play enough Mortal Kombat.
Obviously. Well, you didn't have a Genesis, did you?
Apparently, I did. I had Mortal Kombat 3.
Well, there's your problem. 2 was the best. 3 was a little ridiculous. Also,
they really took
ridiculous.
The jump physics weren't really what they could have been.
That's true. It's like you're on the moon.
Yeah, I didn't really like that they took the ninja aspect away from Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and they gave them like the weird robot thing.
Oh,
they
they
look like Cyrax, and Sub-Zero he didn't have his mask at all, which I didn't like as a kid.
Josh,
And
it's
then
not ultimate. There's two different versions. There's Ultimate and regular Mortal Kombat 3.
actually,
Because Ultimate had more characters. 3 was missing some, I
oh boy,
believe.
oh boy.
No, it's true. Anyways,
Oh boy. Anyways, mine were pretty quick, so I'll hit my what you playing real quick. Starting not this past Sunday, but the week before was AGDQ. Awesome Games Done Quick. It's a week long marathon charity streaming event. Usually they are always raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. It's a bi-yearly, or soon to yeah, bi-yearly event. And I didn't get to watch as much as I usually do. Before I'd have the stream up in a corner of my work window, and I just would check in. But now I'm like, I've got so many podcasts to listen to now. If I like skip an hour or two, it just throws everything off. So I'm really trying to always keep up on my queue. But
mm-hmm.
they always have some really cool things to watch, and like I always like the races. Like especially they always have like a Mega Man race. I think this time they did. They had a Mega Man 1 through 3 race, 4 teams. I think 4 runners per team, or 3 runners per team. So 1 runner takes each game. And it's always cool to see, especially like the last like so many minutes of the race to see, especially if they're close. It's just cool. And just to see the way, I mean, I've talked about it on the show before, but the way those guys play games is just ridiculous. Like, especially with Mega Man, like the pausing exploits where you shoot the boss and then you pause on pause.
Yeah, that's like the only way you can beat that dumb yellow blob guy. The one that
throws
the
golem thing.
Yeah, morphs back and forth.
Yeah. So it's always a cool event. They always have some awesome t-shirts on Yeti.com. I didn't buy any, but just a cool event. I mean, obviously, oh, now you're dying again. Obviously, it raises money for a great cause, so it's always a cool thing to support and check in on. And they had here was it?
Devil,
I think
yes.
Breath of yeah, that's it. Thank you, Yellow Devil. 2 seconds. It does not surprise me. I think Breath of the Wild had a pretty good stream on there as well. I should. But last time I checked, they didn't have a lot of videos on demand because that's what I was going to watch when I was chilling here last Sunday, and I ended up just going through my YouTube playlist instead. And the only thing I played really, besides occasional brawl out matches, Splatoon had a Splatfest this past weekend, and PSVG guys decided that we should get together, drink, and play the game. So we did that, and I had my last delicious beer that Mr. Matt Knight had provided to me, which was great. I had some other swill that's all I had left, and I was feeling pretty good. And I stayed up way too late doing the Splatfest,
right.
And then I ended up joining. Yes, Team Comedy 1, not Team Action. I get it. I ended up joining up with
Salty.
Mr. Nintendo Guru himself, Bobby Pauls, and a bunch of people on his Discord server, and playing League mode for a while. And I'm known by Jason Ray because I have the skills now of one David Ray. So I embodied his Splatoon prowess, but played a ton of Splatoon, stayed up to like 1:30, and then obviously my son wakes up at like 6, so wasn't feeling good yeah, that was a little rough, but I don't do that very often anymore, so I was like, it's worth it. It was fun. It was like, took me back to the day, because originally I wasn't gonna stay. I wanted to sleep in on Saturday, and yeah, totally didn't, because I'm so used to getting up at 5:30. So because like Friday night I went to bed at like 10 o'clock, so Saturday morning woke up at 5:30, good to go. So frustrating, but yeah, I don't know. There was a little mini direct from Nintendo, so I'm trying to plan out some of my future gaming purchases, and I need to get back into the Thimbleweed Park and knock that thing out. And I have another indie game, Blossom Tales, that I barely touched, so I got to stop playing Brawl Out. And now that I've got the Elgato, it's probably gonna get worse, because now I'm gonna be like, oh, I want to stream Brawl Out. It's just like,
everybody, look how good I am at Brawl Out.
Stupid
this
circle
my
of
favorite
crapness character I get into. So, and that's gonna do it for me, man. So let's dive into what
I've been playing. Well, I have a couple quick mentions. Mostly just that I want to mention that I'm still playing Rage. I've almost beat it.
Oh yeah,
I'm on the last mission or something. Sometimes I feel like playing it, sometimes I don't. That one's kind of a, burst game. I'll play it for a few hours and then not play it a couple days and then come back to it. So, and then the other thing is I am playing Final Fantasy VII as well still, despite mentioning the other stuff I'm going to talk about. And I think I'm almost to the end of what you would call Disc 1. I went to, what is it, Nibelhelm or whatever, so-called your hometown, but then you get there and find out that nobody there remembers you. And by the way, I never
wonder why.
yeah, exactly. I never remembered them calling Shinra the Shinra. They always refer to it as the Shinra, which sounds ridiculous to me for some reason.
So that's like in college football when they're always like the Ohio State.
Yes.
So it's
the
Shinra.
Shinra. Yeah. So the Shinra, which just sounds wrong to me for some reason, the Shinra rebuilt this entire town after Sephiroth destroyed it with fire and burning and death and a giant sword that is way too big to be wielded proficiently. And they pretend like
come on, though.
happened.
What's more ridiculous, the Masamune or the Buster Sword?
Yeah, well, the Buster Sword is ridiculous just because it would weigh so much and also would be super... It's basically a cleaver. It's not really a sword at all. It looks more like something from Silent Hill 2, like what that thing... remember the pyramid heads? They have Buster Swords too. That's what a normal human being would look like. Well, I say normal human being and you look at Pyramid Head. But anyways, so I got back and I did some of that. Now I'm on to Mount Nibel. Nibble. Naboo. But I will say,
where does that disc end? If I remember right, it's when you're at like the Shinra, because you go to like the military base there. It's on the coast, if I remember right. And I think doesn't it end?
No, that's already happened. You're talking about when Rufus is talking to, he wants to cross the ocean and all that. Yeah, that's already happened. Yeah. It ends a little bit after what I've done because I've already done Cosmo Canyon. And all that shit. I hated going down in those mines when
those suck.
Bugenheimen or whatever the hell his name is.
So did you get Yuffie in your party, or did you just
give
up on that?
I gave up on it, and then I was in the tank you get, and the tank the it's like the thing from Mass Effect, the Mako, before that was a thing. So I was in that, and I was going by a forest, and just magically got in a fight with her, and I remembered you have to say specific lines or she'll run away and steal stuff from you. So
it's amazing how much I remember. I haven't played that game in so long, but it's amazing how much I can still remember.
Speaking of getting people, we were wrong about Vincent. You don't have to do the piano. You have to open the safe, I believe.
So what does the piano do?
I don't know. There's two pianos. There's
I remember
the
boss. The boss of the area is inside that safe when you have to kill that too.
That guy, red number or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember.
Did you do any Chocobo racing yet?
Or only the one that required me to leave.
You're not going to get the gold Chocobo?
I'll come back and do it later.
Who did you go on a date with at the...
Oh, I took Tifa with me. She's the only one who survives.
I remember one time, one of my broken playthroughs, I got Kate Sith, who showed up.
Oh, God. To go with you?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I didn't get Tifa or Eris, I got Kate Sith.
That's like if any of them are mad at you and you're just like, well, I guess I'm going to have to go alone. Kate Sith's like, no, you don't. I'll go with you. I don't understand why everyone bitches about Kate Sith. I think he's a decent mage, and he his weapons suck, obviously, but he has his dice power, which if you roll doubles his I mean, he can do a lot of damage early on in the game.
Are you aware of there's the whole lucky number 7s thing in that game?
Doesn't sound familiar, at least not
It's
yet.
like I can't remember the exact way to trigger it, but you have to have your characters
Don't
have
you
to be
health?
at
Your
Yeah,
health has to be.
you have to get hit, and you get to go like into a specific hit point, and then you go like it triggers it, and your character will just do like 7,777 damage,
No,
something like that. I
now that
can't
you say
remember.
it, it sounds familiar. I'm sure I read it in a magazine back
Yeah.
then or something. But no, I don't know how to do that or anything. I just play the game as it was meant to, as the story was meant to be played. I don't try to game the game or meta.
Oh, oh.
I role play each character and I
Well,
have voices.
you're truly the hero of Midgar. Excuse me.
That's true.
Excuse me.
I don't think anyone's a hero of Midgard. Midgard is a piece of shit. They have plates that block out the sun, Jason. Nobody wants to live
That's right.
there. It's almost as
That's right.
bad as Detroit, but not quite.
Hey, maybe one day we'll get to experience the rebranded, re-envisioned, remastered version of Final Fantasy. No, we won't.
That's partially why I was like, I'll probably have plenty of time to play Final Fantasy VII, the original, before the episodic content comes out, because they can't. Not only can they not deliver it to us in a decent amount of time, it'll also be episodic. So, how do you not have the game done by this point?
I don't think I can get it. I don't think I can get excited for that.
You know what that
anymore.
means? You know what it means, though? It's going to have a shitload of cutscenes. It's basically going to be a movie. I guarantee.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
guarantee it.
that's.
You're going to hate the way the game is. I guarantee.
You're gonna love the way you look.
Shall we talk
it.
about some other stuff?
Yeah, that's a lot lot of Final Fantasy, probably.
Yeah.
That you.
Way to
This is
talk
quick
about a
mention.
game that came out 30 years ago.
It's
It's 20 years
no
old,
20
isn't it?
20 years. Yeah, 20 years old. I was
Jeez.
14 when that game came out.
Wow. I'm still 14 in my mind and heart. No, my heart is more like a 60-year-old. But anyways, so another game.
And masturbation frequency.
That's the only thing keeping me alive. That's the only exercise that I get. 3 times a day. Arsetto Corsa is a game that I purchased on the Steam sale. And it's a
You see,
racing
I
game.
saw that when I was panicking and realized I forgot to put in my what you playing notes. I was scanning through one that I wanted to say in the intro. I'm like,
I'm not
Arsetto,
putting that
nope,
in.
not gonna
Yeah,
say that one.
Some kind of Italian what the hell? Some kind of Italian shit? Oh. So Arsetto Corsa is a driving game. It's a simulation of driving, and it's sort of like Project Cars, but
Okay.
the car selection is more like Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, that type of thing. And it's supposed to have really good driving models. And I started playing it, and I was enjoying it. And of course, I'm playing with the Rift. By the way, I cannot go back to playing a racing game without the Rift, because just being able to look around like you would in a normal car as you're turning into a turn or trying to see if someone's passing you, like it just works flawlessly. I wish the native resolution of the Rift was a little bit higher so that things on the distance were a little bit more clear, but it works. It's good enough. For now anyways. I'm sure I probably couldn't pump more resolution out if I wanted to anyway. But here's the thing. So I have a pretty decent steering wheel. It's a lower mid-range steering wheel. It's got force feedback, which is nice because you can feel the tires slipping out from underneath you. You can feel understeer. And I really like it a lot, but it came with the shittiest pedals, man. They're your typical plastic pedals. They definitely want you to, it's a Thrustmaster, and they want you to upgrade because you can use part of their, like they sell different pedals that are nicer and made out of metal. They have, they sell different wheels for their higher end Thrustmaster steering wheels. They also have like a gearbox that with a regular gate shifter instead of like the paddles that I have to use. That would be on a sports car, like a Porsche or something like that. But every time, okay, so if these are the pedals, right, and you push them down like this, every time I push the brakes, it has a thing on there that makes the brakes feel real. So the more you press them, the harder they get and the more force you have to use. Well, when I do that, they flip up. Doesn't happen on the gas. It only happens on the brakes. So kind of forces you to play a certain way. And it was so obnoxious that I said, you know what? I have to do something about this. So here's what I did. I mounted it to this giant board, as you can see, and it was a pain in the ass because I had to. I just want everyone to know that I'm trying to show Jason something he's not even looking. There he goes. So I mounted it to this
Okay.
giant board, so
God,
that
this reminds
now.
me of like when I was trying to custom fix my Rock Band drum pedals.
Oh God, yeah, it's similar. I'm sure. Um, so basically, I put it on a block of wood, and it's way too long. I have to like roll my chair up onto the block of wood to be able to reach the pedals and steer. But it works so much better now. It's grounded. It's on the floor like in a car. So, you know, you hit the brake pedal in a car and the brake pedal doesn't just go flying. And honestly, it has completely changed my racing game. I can actually play the game now. Before I could never make turns. I was always sliding off and everything because
Yeah.
I couldn't press the brakes all the way. Because if I did, they would flip. So I was always really ginger about like pressing down on the brakes and kind of like braking at the last second. Um and now I can do that and it works great. Like I it's frustrating to me because I can't even imagine not having the like modified it, like going back
Yeah.
to normal.
Yeah.
It would be horrible. So that really has me excited because I've been playing that rally racing game, which is even worse as far as like how quickly you need to brake and be able to hit the pedals and steer and everything. Um, I was playing without this modified, and so now I want to go back to that rally racing game and try that because I swear it's it's a game changer. It's
Yeah.
really, I don't know. It bums me out that that's the way it comes normally because it really is so night and day that I feel like it could turn some people off and be like, they'll be like, why did I even buy this if it's just gonna run like shit? And I will tell you, it's a lot cheaper than buying a. You can buy a stand that has notches in it that would make this a lot easier to mount to like a stand that just goes between your legs
Yeah.
and will keep your brake pedals and everything
Oh, yeah.
mounted. But they're like $150, and that's
When are you
not.
going to get the force feedback chair?
Oh, that would be awesome if I could feel like the G's and feel the. I've seen someone make one. It costs about $1,000 if you make it yourself, I believe. Which honestly, it's cheaper than probably buying a
Yeah.
pre-made rig. Those are probably more like $5,000 to $10,000, I would think.
You know,
But
talking about racing games, I would say that, you know, previously the ultimate experience would be, you know, if you had the chair like that, but then if you had, you know, they had like that. Now you could have like a pretty good curve monitor, but you'd have the multi-monitor set
yeah,
up
the
so you could
three,
have
yeah, three
at least have your
displays.
peripherals. Do you
Yep.
think now with like a headset with VR, is that a better option, or is it weird not being able to see your hands on the steering wheel? You know, does that
It's not weird to not be able to see them. I think mostly because they put it's a 1-to-1 relationship as far as like the driver's arms in the game, so it's enough that you kind of still feel like something's there. Um,
okay?
it's weird when you like sometimes I'll move the steering wheel like this as opposed to crossing my arms like that.
The
Don't
hands
do
don't do
it. Yeah,
that.
and it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trade-off though because you're getting less resolution obviously when you do a headset, and but you're getting much more immersion. And with a 3 monitor setup, you know that can get quite costly depending on how you know how big and how much resolution you want and whatnot. So I honestly think that the VR headsets will overtake it eventually. I would imagine the next iteration when they finally up the resolution a little bit and make it wireless. I don't know if there will be a reason to have a 3 monitor setup for simulation games. I don't think that would
Hmm.
be a requirement anymore. Obviously, people who already have it are gonna keep it. I'm not saying they should like throw their monitors away, but if you're like me and don't have that yet, then the VR is a pretty good way to go. And
Okay.
having that depth perception really helps, especially when it comes to um, the cars in front of you. You know how asshole AI drivers will get in front of you and then they'll brake at the most ridiculous times when you're going to corners, and then you just smash into the back of them because there's no way you could possibly react and be able to
Yes.
tell like how far away you
Yes.
are. It's a little bit different when you're playing in VR because you can kind of sense what they're doing a little bit more. You're a little more focused, and you can see the amount of distance that's between you, and you can kind of intuit it almost. I'm not saying I haven't run into the back of cars, depending on what car I'm driving, but it definitely helps in that aspect. So there's that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's much more enjoyable. I'm so glad that I decided to do it. I have to cut off a little bit off the front because it's like I said, I have to like wheel my chair up over it so that I can play, which
Yeah.
is annoying. Also annoying is the fact that my chair moves, whereas a car seat is very still. So when I have to press down really hard, it gets like this a little bit, and I'm just like, good thing I have my headset on so that. By the way, anybody who's listening and not watching, you go farther and farther back in your seat because even though I have this locked, this thing still moves quite a bit.
Yeah, you got
so.
some play there.
So kind of, I'll buckle my show in with the Arsetto Corsa talk because it's also about cars and racing. The Grand Tour Season 2. You remember me talking about the Grand Tour and how much I liked it. However, with the first season, it kind of was hit or miss. It was like the first episode was good, then the second episode kind of sucked. Third episode was good, fourth episode kind of sucked. Not the case here. Grand Tour Season 2, pretty much every single episode except for maybe the first one I didn't enjoy as much, but it was still okay. The rest of them have been great. One of the episodes, somebody was complaining that their episodes are too scripted, so they decided to do an entire episode as far as like where they go out and do stuff. So if you haven't seen the show, they have like a talk show component that takes place in a tent that they have. They used to take it around places. Now it's in England the whole time. So they have their talk show portion there, but then they'll cut back to the videos that they've made, and they're very professional and almost movie-esque looking. And those are what people were complaining about being too scripted. So they didn't script it, and hilarity ensues, obviously. Another one, the most recent one that I watched, they tried to justify Jaguars because nobody owns them because they have not nobody, but hardly anyone owns them because they have a terrible reliability factor. And so they were trying to prove that you could go cross country in Colorado with them and not have them break down. And I think they went through 2 cars by the time they were done. But it's good. It's funny. I think that's important when you talk about something like cars or anything that you can get into, cars, gaming, hell, beer. You have to have that element of entertainment so that people don't feel like they're just watching a breakdown of a stat sheet or something like that. So if you haven't checked out the Grand Tour and you think it's something that you might like, I would say start with season 2 first and then go back because there's no real reason to actually watch in order as far as I remember. At least nothing of serious consequence. But I'm very pleased that season 2 has turned out much better because it is an hour-long show and it's tough to when it's dragging. It's kind of like, man, this isn't over yet. So I really recommend it.
Where's that streaming at, Lucas?
Amazon Prime. I believe you have to have a prescription, a subscription. And also they're releasing them every Friday. I don't remember if they did that in the first season, but now they're coming out every Friday, and they're up to episode 6 now. So I think there's only probably four more episodes.
Yeah. Okay. I want to mention I finally started watching Bright. And I think it's like, obviously we'll talk about it on Netflixation when it comes up, but I have a feeling you're really going to like it. I think what I've seen, it's been pretty mixed opinion wise on it, but I think the whole Shadowrun appeal for you is just going to check all the boxes for you.
Okay.
I
So
think.
you're saying at the very least, it's going to be fun to watch just because
Yeah.
of the stuff going on in the movie. Whether or
Yeah.
not it's good or not remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But
Right.
how
Right.
can it be bad? It's got Will Smith. He's never been in a bad movie.
Welcome to Earth.
Oh boy. Welcome to Miami. So lastly, the last thing I want to talk about. Now this is all Nathan's fault because he was talking about how he wanted to go back and play one of the DLCs he didn't get to for Witcher 3, and I don't remember which one it was. I think he said he played Blood and Wine, so maybe the other one, Hearts of Stone, or vice versa. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the name of them. But anyway, I bought this game, and I had it sitting in my Steam list waiting to be installed because one, it's a fairly large game, and two, I knew once I started it the commitment that I was getting into because I've liked both Witcher 1 and 2, and those games are long. And this one, I mean, it's won so many awards by now. Not only is it good, but it's also long, much like much like something else I know about. Right? So I knew what I was getting into. If I start this game, everything else is probably going to fall by the wayside. So that's why I'm trying to finish up some other stuff. But nonetheless, I decided to start it because Nathan was talking about it, and I was just like, I gotta get in. I gotta get me some of that. So I installed it. I booted it up. Curious to see if I could even play it, considering I'm running on like 512 kilobytes of memory. So I have to close everything else in Windows before I start it. But I booted it up, and it's good. It's damn good. I am very surprised, one, by how well it runs, and two, the facial animation alone in this game. Holy shit. Like, there is such minutia in the facial animation of some of these characters that I can't tell if it's been captured or if it was done by an animator, because it's just subtle enough that it could be capture, but it's also almost too characterized, I guess. It's hard to explain, but it's really good, and it adds a lot to the immersion, especially since like in the first and second game, and especially the first one, a lot of the people look the same. Like, you get a lot of the same NPCs, and that really breaks immersion. But here, I haven't seen too many people that look the same. So, needless to say, it wouldn't be a Witcher game if I hadn't seen some woman's ass in the first like 5 minutes, which is great. So I got to see a woman's naked fanny, and then I've ridden around a little bit. I did a little bit of fighting.
How do you like the combat?
It's good. It definitely feels updated. It's more like the second game, but I think they really had the controller in mind for this one as opposed to the keyboard and mouse, because it feels a little bit more at home on the controller, especially when you're trying to use stuff like quick use potions or food, or throw a bomb, or use they call them signs, but they're basically magic. I haven't done a lot of fighting, and it seems a little bit loose. One thing that kept happening to me, and it was really obnoxious, was I was doing this side quest. I ran into this guy who wanted his merchant vessel got attacked by ghouls, and he had a precious box there that he had lost. And I told him I would go and help him retrieve it. So I get there, and there's these ghouls, and every time they're not immediately attacking me. A lot of the monsters kind of like will linger around until they definitely see you. So I took my sword out because I knew that they were around. So I was planning on killing them, because there's nothing like trying to loot something and something comes up and smacks you in the back of the head and you're just like, oh, come on. I'm trying to do something here. Come on. So I'm going to take out the problem first. And so I get out my silver swords. Silver swords are for monsters, Jason, and you use them to kill them. Well, I take my sword out, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, all right, it's coming. Anytime. Come on. I'm waiting for it to attack me. It starts running at me, and he automatically sheathes his sword because it's been out too long and I hadn't swung around or whatever. I had that happen 3 times in that damn fight because they don't all attack you at once necessarily. And it was so obnoxious because I would be just about ready to engage them, and then frickin' Geralt puts his sword back. And I'm like, what are you doing? There's clearly a monster right there. Why are you doing that, you stupid son of a bitch? So I have some things that I have to get used to. But other than that, it's been pretty solid. The story, the voice acting has always been kind of weird. Got better in the second one. Third one, it's great. The story is good. It's a continuation of the second one. So things that happened in the second game, in my personal game, I have uploaded into the game, no problem. And continuing the story. Now, I have read the book, or at least one of the books, so I'm familiar with, what's her name? Not Jennifer. It's basically Jennifer, but I can't remember. It's something. It's like Jennifer or something like that. I don't remember. But anyways, so I'm familiar with her, and I'm kind of familiar with what's going on. So yeah, I'm just really anxious to get into all of it, and I know I'm really dreading the DLC because I know it adds like way more gameplay. Like I think it's like 20 to 30 hours, something like that. So I told myself I wouldn't buy the DLC until I beat the game. So unless there's some reason not to do that, I like if there's a good time within the main storyline to play those, then I will buy them ahead of time if I get to that point. But for now, I'm going to wait and make sure I beat this 60 to 100 hour beast before I do that commitment, because they're like $10 even if they're on sale, so it's a pretty hefty price. Also, I played Gwent, and I get the game, but Jesus, it's so weird and difficult, so got my ass kicked. So it's a good time though. I'm enjoying it.
All right.
It'll be the hot and heavy game that I play, and then everything else will kind of be when I don't feel like sinking 4 hours into Witcher 3.
I feel like my next game, I really need to sit down and focus. Well, I need to get back into stream. I need to finish off Dead Space. I need to get back into that and stream that thing out. But I really want to get back in and
or 1.
Oh, I'm still playing 1.
I thought you
finished that off. No, I don't remember what. I haven't played it since before Christmas. And then I want to get back into Dragonfall and then Hong Kong and finish off Shadowrun. But all right, well, let's do some community grab bag. And
this is happening now.
Oh, we're getting serious. We'll play some community grab bag, and we'll finish out the show. So, gosh, I hope that was close to the end, Josh. I had a feeling. Do we have a soundtrack for community grab bag?
I went because I need to get.
There it is.
It's kind of there. It's sort of there.
It's there.
I need to open this.
Oh man.
Just a second. I've got leftover winter white ale.
Oh,
it's
winter white ale.
Fancy.
That's not bad though.
Just a second. You keep going.
Well, I will go.
You'll be good.
Okay. Well, well, Lucas has abandoned me. Oh, I see some butt crack on the stream. You guys are in for a treat. So I wanted to first mention, obviously, we hit our next Patreon tier. We hit our $65 tier, so I want to say thank you to everyone out there who has backed us, who has supported us. I know I already did a YouTube video thanking you guys as well, but it still needs to be said, and that's awesome because I never thought we would come close to that. We never thought. So now every show is going to be, in addition to our audio release, it's going to be
for better or worse.
For better or for worse, every episode will also be streamed live as we record it here on YouTube. So we encourage you guys, if you are an audio listener, we encourage you to come in, stop into the chat, hang out, and enjoy us firsthand making asses of ourselves, because we're good at that. Got a couple years worth of experience doing that. So.
That's like all I'm good at, honestly.
So again, thank you very much, guys. We totally appreciate that. We did have some questions for the grab bag tonight, though. So let's get into it. Starting off, Kevin Austin, PSVG Kevin, 2-parter. First one's for you, Luke. What is it gonna take for you to pull the trigger and get a Nintendo Switch?
Money. I would already have one, honestly. If I could. Here's the thing. This damn computer right? So I
That
just
that
had to update that. I don't
yeah,
have a lot
any
of
money you would have had extra to spend on something had to go to that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a lot of disposable income at the moment, so being a one income family, it's kind of tough to justify that. If
Yeah.
it goes down to 199 one day with nothing, like I don't expect anything packed in, just the system.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, maybe we'll talk then for like my birthday or something. My birthday or something. Right now though, it's just I would love to. And then the other problem is, of course, like I don't really buy a lot of new games, mostly again because of the money situation. So, it would take it would take it would take a lot of Patreon donations to be able to for me to get a Switch. No, but I would probably have to I don't know. We'd somehow have more disposable income, unfortunately. So, I mean, like I've told you before, I have way too many damn hobbies. Craft beer, that takes up a huge amount. Anybody who has to go out and buy craft beer knows you don't get out of the store spending less than $20 unless you're not buying a 6-pack. So,
Right.
that's tough. So, yeah.
Yep.
Just disposable income. Maybe we'll get lucky and our taxes will come back and we'll just have so much money that my wife will be like, "Babe, I know you've been really wanting a Switch, so no, that's probably not gonna happen."
I know you just spent all this money on the computer, but you can do that.
Maybe I
See,
should.
Aaron, thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah. Maybe I'll look for a used system. Maybe that would be the route I could go.
I always think it's kind of inevitable. I think some of us think about that there's maybe they'll have another, like a different SKU version come out.
Yeah, that's true.
Or something like that. Or
It's
you would
gonna
think
be
at some
packed in
point too.
with,
I mean,
Mario Odyssey.
you would think in year 2, because I mean we're still in year 1 of sales. You think maybe in year 2 they'd do some sort of discount at some point, but we'll see. I mean, really, there's no need to them now because they're selling like crazy. So why would they? It'd be crazy if they,
That's true.
Drop the price. So
no point in changing.
Kevin's second part. What would it take to get you to for me to finish Thimbleweed? I just need to sit down and do it. I need to not play Brawl Out. I need to not play other things. I need to just sit down and play Thimbleweed. I don't know why I haven't. I guess I don't
play
know.
with your Thimbleweed, Jason.
It is. I need to. I'm sorry. Lucas, you had a question that came across. Came across. And even used the hashtag Q4F. Was this you, Jason? What the hell happened while I was gone? Video of an Amish man skiing behind a horse-drawn buggy. The clip shows the skier tipping his hat to traveler Tara Hayward as she passes the carriage in the rural town of Morley.
Morley is not that far away.
No, gosh, it is in Michigan, so it could have been me.
Let's see, Morley, Michigan, because it's like Morley Stanwood. It's a tiny little, out of the way. No, like pretty sure they have like a post office and a gas station, and that's about it. Let's see, Morley is, it's probably about 2 hours north. Hour and a half north.
Totally. Oh, I skied my way up there and I skied my way back.
Behind a carriage, no less. That takes some balls.
Hey.
There's an animal.
I got big ones.
You do. There's an animal in control of your life. That's never a good thing.
No, there is not. Callow had jumped in based on our chat last week about looking forward to 2018. He's looking forward to be able to play all of his 2017 titles that he hasn't started or finished yet on Xbox and Nintendo Switch. He's got a big backlog building up. First world problems when you buy a lot of games,
I love a big backlog. I can't lie. You other brothers cannot deny.
Bobby Nintendo Guru had commented, "No Lucas on the show," and also "No Nintendo Guru. Why do you hate me?" So I think Bobby's a little upset. I didn't ask him to guest host.
Oh, I thought he was just upset that I wasn't on the show. I was like, "Oh, thanks," but now I see.
Maybe,
no.
Maybe
the way you
misinterpreted it.
The way you read it was like, "No Lucas and no Nintendo Guru," but now I see it's no, there's no Lucas and you don't invite me to come on the show. Fine. I see how it is.
That's right.
I'm just kidding.
And our last question comes from Mr. Skinny Matt. He had a fake question. This is a real question. What 2017 game was the biggest disappointment to you? Mine would have to be ARMS. I was intrigued and thought it looked like it'd be a lot of fun. I played the test punch, and it's just not for me. Total snooze fest.
Sorry, I let the music go. You
Okay.
know what I had to do? I had to look through, and I'm like, what came out in 2017, and did I play it? The answer is, I have not played anything from 2017. But I would have.
Well, let's say what about what game you did play in 2000? Let's just say what game you did play.
Oh, well, see, I went back and he said, and I know he said, I thought he said what game that you had played, but here's the thing, or what game in 2007 that released. Here's the thing, I have one. I didn't play it, but it doesn't matter because the whole point was that I didn't play it. Mass Effect Andromeda. I wanted to buy that game. I was poised to buy that game when it came out. However, I don't buy anything until I know that it's good. The only thing I didn't do that with was Grand Theft Auto 5. But typically, if I'm going to buy a new game, I still will wait until I know whether or not it's worth purchasing. And when I heard about the shitstorm that Mass Effect Andromeda caused, it was similar, not as bad, but similar to the other obvious contender, which would have been Star Wars Battlefront 2, where I was just like, well, guess I don't have to buy that now until it's like $15 on sale or something. I know they've patched it since then, and it's still kind of weird, and I'll probably play it eventually because it's Mass Effect, and I love Mass Effect, and that's why I wanted to buy it, but now we probably won't see a Mass Effect game for another one for quite a long time, and it just kind of sucks that it ended up, like, it's so bad. I watched facial animation comparisons to games that came out years before that game came out, and it was so damning to see. And I mean, that's not the only thing, but when you see, I mean, it's BioWare, right? So you've got tons and tons of cutscenes, in-game cutscenes. That shit's got to be fixed before I play it. So now I'm just like, well, I waited this long. I'll wait until it's on sale for like 10, 15 bucks.
Right.
So that was one of my biggest disappointments.
Yeah. Can I say a game I never played? Because I mean, in all honesty, Battlefront would be my biggest disappointment because I think that's like the game I was.
For me.
Yeah, that was one of the games I was looking forward to playing the most this year, and then I'll probably never play that unless they give it to me for free. I'll probably never play that game. Yeah. I just don't ever see that happening. Ever.
Was there anything that on the Switch? Because I mean, that would have been 2017. Was there anything that you were really looking forward to, and then you were just kind of like, you know what? Not as good as I was thinking it would be.
Well, you know,
still not bad, but.
Well, you know, it's funny because with ARMS, I went through the complete opposite that Matt did. I hated the test punch, and then I was lucky enough to receive a copy of it, and then I loved it. You know, I played the heck out of that game.
But how do you feel about the Falcon Punch?
Every first party game I got, you know, I was good and I enjoyed. I'm trying to think of some of the deals, like some of the indie games and stuff I bought. Probably. I didn't think. I mean, there were some bad indie games, but I wasn't didn't think they were gonna be that great anyway. Like Mr. What's that one
Mr.
you just
Shifty?
talked about? Mr. Shifty. Like that looked cool, but it was just a piece of crap.
It never
the way
played
it ran.
well, right?
No, it had real bad frame issues, and then it's just kind of a weird game. But I didn't have high anticipations for that, so I can't really say it was a disappointment, you know. Yeah, nothing that really comes to mind too much. I've been pretty happy with most of my purchases on there, except maybe I feel like there was something I reviewed for PSVG that I played, and I know I'll never play it again. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Battlefront. Battlefront's my answer still.
That's a good answer. I feel like just about everybody who isn't living in the land of denial can say that Battlefront was a bit of a.
And I think that's a popular thing to jump on the EA hype hate train, you know, about
now
that.
we were ahead of the game. We were ahead of the curve.
But I feel like we explained ourselves really well on our previous episode and explained why that we, you know, dislike that game so much. And I just,
it's not our fault.
You know, like talking, you know, like Nathan I know Nathan has the game and stuff and plays it, and he even seems like, you know, a little bit disappointed in it. But I can't do it. Can't do it.
I don't want to.
As you said on the website, they've gone down a path I can't follow.
That is true. They broke my heart.
You're breaking my heart. So that is going to conclude the community grab bag.
Oh, snap.
So with that, perhaps it's time we conclude this episode.
Oh, I got it. It's going.
It's going. I think so. So with that, if you're interested in supporting the show, please check out patreon.com/Fluxtaposed.
How could you
I want to say thank you to all of our patrons, but a hearty hello to our newest patron, Tyler Rowland. Thank you so much, Tyler, for
Dude, I just want
on.
to say, if you're listening right now, I need to get on Overwatch. I almost said Overcooked. I need to get on Overwatch and play with you. I know I feel bad because we played with him that one night, and I haven't touched the game since. And
I haven't either.
I suck is part of the problem, and it's hard to practice at something you're not good at. So, yeah. But I do want to play some more. So
there you go. And with that, a special thanks to our arbiters of awesomeness, Sean Capri, Edwin Callow, and of course our executors of excellence, Josh Bourboni, Dan Anthony, and Siri Renee. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate your support each month. And without you guys, we wouldn't be on your YouTube screens right now. So for that, we're always thankful. And with that, we're going to be done with episode 195. We'll be back next week with 196. We'll save you a seat. Until then.
Should I cough one more time before we go?
Yeah, I think you should get a good cough in
Okay,
there.
here it comes. Oh.
God.
I did it for you.
I learned it from watching you, Dad. Learned from watching you.